Contrails don't exist. They do not exist at all. I, myself, spend at least 4 hours staring up at the sky every single day. Especially, I should say, during summer break, and days I have off, that the weather calls for me being able to be outside. Alright? So so I'm the perfect example of someone that watches these clear days gradually turn into these fogged over, chem-filled skies that we're all used to seeing. Alright? Every day, as weather permitting, I'm outside, either riding my bike, at the park, laying on a blanket, staring up into the sky, and reading a book, or I'm out in my deck reading a book. Okay? Most people, alright, this is 90% of the people in in the United States that go from rooftop to rooftop to rooftop, that only spend maybe an accumulated amount of like 10 minutes outside every single day. Alright, and for some people, they'll go out for smoke their cigarettes or whatever, and they'll look up in the sky and say, oh, it's a beautiful day out. Alright, and I've talked about this multiple times in my previous videos. Just because it's blue doesn't mean it's not chemmed over. Alright, you have to look hard, and look at this, okay? Oh, that's just a contrail, right? This is a contrail. You see how beautiful it is, and it's just a short little thing, right? These people have the attention span of maybe a goldfish, okay? You need to be watching how chemtrailing works. They don't just leave massive, persistent chemtrails all the time, alright? Especially in my last video when I talked about what direction the wind is blowing and where it's coming from, for me it seems like it's more difficult if the wind is coming from the ocean for them to leave persistent trails, but regardless though, these little short little contrails that they're leaving, okay, it accumulates. It accumulates over and over and over, and they stack it on, and they stack it on, and they stack it on. Alright, because the stuff does not leave. It just sits there. Clouds move. You can see clouds moving. This stuff just sits there. It just sits there all day. Alright? There are no contrails at all. And I watch them doing this. I'll be laying down for hours just staring up in the sky, either doing a light meditation or just watching the sky and just thinking about philosophy and the meaning of life and all this cool stuff that no one really else ever does that I ever come across. And I'll watch them, and I see dozens of planes in a single day do nothing at all. They won't leave anything. No contrail at all. And then all of a sudden you'll see one come by leaving this thick ass chemtrail out the back, right? It's non-persistent and it's short, and you're like, wow, that is a massively thick chemtrail, but it's very short. Okay, then you see another one, then you see two of them right next to each other, right? And then you won't see any for a while, and then all of a sudden you'll see them come over again and do it the same thing over in a different patch of the sky, right? And then you won't see them again. And then you notice, okay, if you're outside long enough, that over a series of days, the sky starts off as a nice, clear blue sky, and then you see those little short chemtrails come by, and then the next day, you notice that it's a little bit lighter blue. And then you can actually see, and people imagine to themselves when they look up, oh, it's a blue sky, so it must be good. And I've mentioned this before. You actually have to be observant. You actually have to look more than a few seconds at the sky to see that thin layer of smog or fog or whatever it is that they put up there. You actually have to look more than like 5 seconds that people usually do, and you'll see it. Okay, and then you'll notice that there's more planes. Okay, just like these guys, these twin ones coming through. There's more of them, right? But then you'll see the normal planes flying that don't leave anything, right? And they're in the majority. The majority of planes don't do anything at all. They just fly by. Same altitude, same direction. And then you'll see more chem planes come by, right? And then they'll stop all over again, right? And then the next day, you notice that it's really light blue out. None of the stuff moves. It just sits there. And you're like, this isn't really that blue out. But most people don't. I do. I say that. And then I look, and I'm like, oh, it's because it's fogged over. It's whatever this fog mass is. And then you notice that they're still going at it. And this last video that's coming up, okay, this was taken maybe like 20 minutes ago. This is why I decided to do the video. I was going to do one a while ago, but Oakland, he made one, and I was just like, all right, fine, I'll just do it. But then I've been coming across a lot of these, contrail versus chemtrail things, and so I decided to do this now. And a lot of these videos aren't in order, the previous ones, but this one this is over a period of like 3 or 4 days. So here it is, right? This is today, 20 minutes ago. It went from crisp blue skies to this thick smog that's over everything. Okay, way up in the atmosphere, way up there. Doesn't move at all. And did you see that plane now? Oh, it was just leaving a contrail, right? That's just a contrail. It's a little bit longer than the other ones when it was on a clear blue sky, because it's an actual sky. Oh, but when it's a little bit thicker out, they'll just leave a little bit thicker. Okay? Or a little bit longer. Give me a break, people. Contrails don't exist. And if you think they do exist, then you're just as ignorant as all the other people, because you're not doing your due diligence and watching the sky enough to be able to be observant and notice these things. So you're spreading as much disinformation as all the other people are. So that's all I have to say about that. Peace and love, everybody, and keep looking up.